Tightrope was the last atmospheric test ever conducted by the United States, and it was fired from Johnston Island in a Nike Hercules air defense missile and detonated again well above Johnston Island. And that ended this whole series of atmospheric testing by the United States, when in 1963 we entered the Limited Test Ban Treaty that prohibits any atmospheric testing.
I've got some videos, I don't have them in my camera right now. You can see all the explosions we did in the higher atmospheres. Now what has the atmosphere done? We have areas around the planet that protect us from gamma rays and ultraviolet, right? What do they call that? Ozone layer. However, radiation has cut holes through the ozone. It's not the CFCs down on the ground. It's the radiation we put up there. How many, are there any airline pilots here? Next time you get in an airplane, ask the pilot why he has a radiation detector. Everything above 36,000 feet, the pilots are starting to affect the gamma rays and ultraviolet are coming down. What's happening is that the radiation is coming down now, and we're killing off 1,000 life forms a day on the planet, including the largest oxygen producer on the planet, which is the plants in the ocean. What color do plants go when they die? Brown or black? And what happens when the sun hits something brown or black?
Warms up.
Heats up. And what's the oceans doing?
Heating up.
What happened? Did they just announce this last week up in the Arctic Circle? It's melting. First time in history, right? But remember, that's just the first thermal barrier. So when you have the ice melting, and we have tropical fish in Alaska. First time recorded a few months ago, what did we have? A hurricane in Brazil. That's an impossibility. Because the guys when we were talking about, oh, look, I sat in on meetings when we were talking about using neutron bombs on the major cities in the United States. Neutron would leave all the buildings intact and get rid of the expendable containers. Their plan was if they start the nuclear war in the northern hemisphere, they're going to be safe. Because in Pine Gap, Australia, they built a huge underground facility for 35,000 of the so-called elite. David Rockefeller's team. Interesting. Do you want to change? Because they think they're protected. 35,000 of them, like I say, my old governor buddy who had his ticket, he thinks he's going to be one of the ones over there. There's tremendous nepotism within the group. Aren't you going to take care of your family and everybody else and put your friends in office and all that? It's just a natural thing that's going on. They're calling. Okay, let's go to the next step. Since we have that coming up, the oceans are heating up, we're losing off valuable things, which are part of the ecological channels, if you're going to look at such. And we're killing off 1,000 life forms a day, including the bees. You're familiar with all that, to provide us honey and do all the changing of that. This is throughout the planet. We have basically a third of the planet existing on less than $2 a day. Their plan is they got to escalate this program that we're talking about on Plan 2000 or population reduction. We have some other things that happen. These guys that created the Federal Reserve thing extended the Federal Reserve to several other countries that uses that as their base of money. That thing is that's going out of hand too, because a lot of other countries are now waking up and they say we won't take the dollar anymore. As you're probably aware of just what happened with Castro, actually 2 years ago, Castro quit it along with Hussein. Both of them did it agreeing the same day, but obviously we went and attacked Hussein for various reasons, which were contrived at the same point. It's all over oil again. That's the liquid gold supposedly they're going after. We have plenty of energy on this planet. It's the storage of the energy and easily do it. Now there's nanotechnology. Are anybody familiar with nanotechnology? There are companies now coming out with nanotechnology which converts water immediately. 1 second. I'm not going to give you. I'm only going to go for about 10 more minutes. Is that okay? Then we're going to go take a break. I know you guys want to hear me, but yeah, nanotechnology. Yeah, wait till she gets it. She wants to record it, and he's going to edit it. Maybe. Nanotechnology is it's efficient at about 10%, and we're at 8% right now. Nanotechnology takes hydrogen directly out of the air, and you can run your car on it. And immediately when you burn it, you come back with water vapor. So we have a conversion factor of it. That's a nanotechnology. Magnetic energy, again, I'm going to show you guys in a little while a little magnetic motor, and you're free to go make them. I mean, $3 is what it cost me to make this one. And they're used as basically a trickle charger, so you can build up and make sure you have battery storage. You want to have batteries, and then use an inverter so you can run your house. The next thing you want to look at is take a look at the same thing. If their plans are to reduce the United States down to 20 million, obviously big cities are not a good place. Now, I'm going to talk about economics a little bit more. I happen, since I run around with this group, I happen to have the accounting book for the New World Money System. Dollars out, period. It's going away. And I'll share this, so just so you know what the plans are. Greenspan has got orders to raise the discount rate by 4%. And he's going to ratchet it up, just so you know that's what's coming out. I'm giving you some advanced knowledge of what they got planned for you. The discount rate is only the rates that are traded between the bankers. We already have everybody out of work, regardless of what they tell you. We have all the foreign governments that don't want our money anymore. We have the dollar that's being devalued about 30% against the euro. And the euro is going to collapse too, just so you know. I have in my pocket the new World Bank card. It's a little card that says World Cash. It'll be activated by your thumbprint. Are you guys getting used to putting your thumbprint when you cash a check at the bank yet? Getting ready. Everything's set up. All the signs, the street signs all around the major ones that are going on the highways right now have markings in behind them, and that's to set up for where prisoner camps are being set up, where hospitals are going to be for when they call a national emergency, which is coming up. Now, I mentioned before that we're going to have a major earthquake in California. New York's going to go first. It's coming up any time now. There's five earthquakes that just occurred in Japan. If you go along the Ring of Fire, the whole plate system on the entire planet. What's happening up in Iceland? I spent 3 weeks in Iceland, guys. I walked through there all the way around. That's the big whole island that's just coming apart. They got a volcano that just went off up there. I'm of course up in Washington, where we just had some of that going on. I'm not too concerned about the one that's happening right now. It's the other ones that are building up. They talk about Yellowstone getting ready to go and all the rest of it. I can just tell you there's a lot of things going to happen from the weather. However, winds are going to be 350 to 400 miles an hour on the surface of the planet. Now, not all over, so get that out of the way. So you have to make some judgment calls on what you're going to do. I do know that in Mount Baldy, California, winds were 212 miles an hour, sustained for over a week. Both poles the same way. Now that's just the beginning. As the winds start changing and the air temperature changes from hot to cold, it's going to start escalating. Everything is going to start escalating. The Earth changes according to the estimates I get from my extraterrestrial buddies, and by the way, they're here, is that next year is the beginning of what we call real Earth changes are going to begin. Now, there are plans in motion to call a national emergency. You're all familiar with what's coming under FEMA. FEMA basically suspends the Constitution, whatever's left of it, because you don't have much of that. And what you're going to be doing, I was asked when I was in Las Vegas to build an enemy prisoner of war camp. That's exactly what it says. I said, enemy prisoner of war camp. It's in downtown Las Vegas. It's on the railroad tracks. If I brought a copy of it out at my table, it's in the book Chaos in America, which is in my catalog. You can actually see it and see exactly what it says. I gave it to my friend Ted Gunderson, former head of the FBI chief in Southern California, because he and I were we had got involved with another case. You guys remember the big anthrax scare that happened in Las Vegas? God, I did that. Let me tell you what happened. I was very concerned because I have friends. Are you familiar with the triple cocktail that the Russians had developed? This is anthrax, bubonic plague, and smallpox all mixed together, which will be set up. Larry Harris, which is out here in Ohio, gave me some data, and I said, I'm very concerned. And so I said, but I have a friend of mine, I think we can have a way to cure this thing, to get rid of it before it happens. And he said, well, there's obviously one cure, and if everybody would have some tetracycline on hand. Are you familiar with that? You know how you can get it without a prescription? You go to your pet food store. Your dogs, they all get it. You don't need a prescription. Just say, get a bottle. I got a whole bottle, 500 pills for $100. But anyway, to just give you an idea, you don't want to take it because it burns you up. But if you knew that it was out there, it'll arrest it temporarily. Well, we were looking at using this, remember this Royal Rife treatment I was telling you? This is frequency medicine. We have found out that most cancers are viruses, and it's not the virus, it's the excrement that it gives out, consoles that goes out. And when it comes to women, if they're going out, I suggest not to get a mammogram. Mammograms cause cancer. I have a good friend of mine who works on that, and he says, guys, what you want to do is have the women throw away their bras and massage them. So the women will like it, but that'll keep it. So what happens is the halter keeps the lymph tissues and the lymph from flowing around the body, and it builds up and causes a cancer. Does it make any sense to you? Anyway, there's a lot of stuff that's going on out here because we got to kill us all off. That's the whole idea. Make money while we're doing it. So what we're doing is the same thing. We have all the foods. We have everything that's being attacked to us right now, and nutrition is critical. Every one of you should get enzymes in your body. When you're over 25, you lost almost all your enzymes, your production. And every time you cook food over 114 degrees, I believe, the enzymes go away. If you have stress, enzymes break in. And so you're using it up, and what disease is, or disease, is basically what we're creating on ourselves, and boy, we're going to be distressed and diseased in the future. If you get a lot of enzymes, you can probably get your body back to correct some of the deficiencies you think you have. And there's a lot of books on this that are coming out right now. And a lot of changes because of what we are, really. Remember that little picture? Pardon?
When you brush your teeth with
fluoride,
the chemicals in it.
Well, I'll make it even worse. I'll make it even worse than that. Remember you guys all the kids get soda pop, right? And a typical can of soda pop, we make sure that you guys are stupid. So what you do is they put in so much sugar in it so you don't know how much it is. I'm going to give you a little clue. See my fingers? I got 5, right?